Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my friends. How are we? I hope we're doing well. I don't know how many of us are here. From a quick glance, certainly not enough for quorum. So we're just gonna sit. We're gonna sit for a minute. It's way too nice out, and the amount of dopamine I've had in my brain because of how nice it is unprecedented. Because I'm not used to this heat. I'm not used to this nice heat. It's been months. So I'm just relaxing. I'm happy. Rare, I know. I'm happy. So I'm not seeing a lot here. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, not enough. Not enough from what I see. And did they forget? Did we forget? Do I have to send a message out to our friends? Oh, who we getting? We getting them up? Un momento, por favor. Does anyone did anyone like while we wait for more people to show up because we don't have quorum, anyone have anything nice they like from their trips on spring break? Did anyone go on trips? I'm assuming people went on trips, but probably half of us did, less than half, maybe. Who went on a trip? Who went somewhere? Yes, Mr. or Vice President Effinger.
Oh, I didn't think I'd actually have to talk about it. I thought we were just raising hands.
No, I just wanted to hear where it was, so I can be envious because I didn't go very far.
I took my girlfriend back to Wisconsin for the first time, so yeah.
Oh, nice. Did you get some cheese? That's a bad joke.
Oh, know it. We got cheese curds and we ate them all. We had to go back for more.
Dakota, you say it like it's the joke, but you've never Wisconsin cheese is next level shit.
Is it really?
It's Wisconsin it's good cheese. Oh. Really good cheese.
Okay. I like good cheese. I mean, who doesn't, right? I read somewhere, and I say read, I watched some probably a TikTok where it said cheese activates the same stuff in your brain as cocaine or something. Or meth, was it? Something like that. So any cheese is good to me, unless it's blue. I'm sure I'm offending someone in here.
You're offending me. I love blue cheese.
You love blue cheese?
I guess if it activates the same thing, I'm addicted to meth too because I'm addicted to cheese.
All right, right on. All of us meth addicts here. Now all we need to do is lose a few teeth and we'll fit right in. All right, let's get to it. I will share my screen because I hope we have my mouse. I hope we have enough people. All right, me, yeah. Secretary Gonzalez.
Here.
Senator Smith.
Here.
Yay. Senator Miller Holcomb.
Here.
Cool. Senator Fitzsimmons.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Pastor said she won't be here, unless she is. Senator Mutombo. Senator Mutombo isn't here. Senator Lewis. Senator Lewis is in here. Senator Doris.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Meldrum Roy.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Ewing.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Sanchez. Senator Sanchez isn't here. Senator Taylor.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Griggs.
Here.
Thank you. Senator DeMarco isn't here, he told me. Senator Tamang.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Busal Chetri.
Present.
Thank you. Senator Byrne. Senator Byrne isn't here. Senator Leinhard.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Shafia. Senator Shafia. Sorry, pronunciation. I wrote it down and I lost where I wrote it down. The correct pronunciation, but we'll say no. All right, so we do have quorum, which is great. That's good. Very great. So moving on to our general notes from the chair before we begin, because I am still rounding up those loose brain cells. I forgot to add another agenda item. So I make a motion to add a guest speaker, Sagar Kadka, So can I get a second?
Second.
Consent, please.
Consent.
Opposition? Hearing none, seeing none, we will add spelling. Okay, cool. All right, notes from me. Not much. I just hope everyone had a very good vacation. I hope everyone's feeling relieved. Summer is but a jump away, only like 3 weeks, and we don't have to do this semester anymore. For those of us who are doing summer, you still have to go to school, so sorry. Speaker election stuff. So as we round out the end of the year, a new speaker should be selected for the next year. That is at the discretion of the executive vice president, who is yet to be determined for next year. But I do want to tell those who have gone through, who were candidates for the Senate, for new Senate seats for next year, and who were elected. I don't know who those people are. I assume some of you are here. You will get the opportunity, and you should email me to campaign for our speaker for being speaker next year. So that's just going to be like everyone who's there gets like a 1 minute chance to say who they are, say why they'd be great at the job, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll have like a vote on it. But like I said, that is to be determined by, and I cannot open my chat for some reason. So if someone sent me a message, I don't know what it is. That is determined by the executive vice president, whoever that ends up being. So that said, I don't suppose anyone has any questions. Unless you do, just talk. I for some reason can't open my chat. Oh, there it is. Cool. All right. Seeing none, hearing none. Awesome. Election update from Vice President Eagle. I'm sure we're all excited to hear this election update because I am. I'd like to know what's happening. So.
All right. So I would love to start my update by giving a huge shout out to the folks that I had on my team. I don't even think Kathy's here, but Kathy has been a phenomenal help throughout this entire election season. I'm sure everyone who watched the debates saw she did a fantastic job moderating. I would also like to give a super huge shout out to Chief Justice Ashley. Why am I only thinking your name is Putnam Marie? But anyways, a huge shout out to Ashley. She has also been a fantastic help throughout this entire process. So I can go ahead and announce the senators that were successful in their runs. We can start with the College of Aviation. We had 2 successful senators run, and they were successful in their seats. Megan Higgins and Carly Ness. For the College of Engineering and Applied Science. Oh yes, claps. I'm sorry. For the College of Engineering and Applied Science, we can all be very happy to see our Speaker pro tempore and Secretary of the Senate returning in their Senate seats. Leslie Gonzalez and Dakota Shapiro were both reelected. For the Hayworth College of Business, we had Anna Griggs and our very own Vice President for IT, Charles Poole. For the University College, we have very exciting Brian Taylor. We can all be very excited. He will be rejoining the team next year. And for the Lee Honors College, we have a very familiar face, Elisha Ewing, who will be returning next year as well. All right. So unfortunately, those are the only names I can give out at this point. With our presidential election, we did have a winner by 30 votes. However, there are several outstanding demerits. The SEC states that at a total of 3 demerits, candidates are to be disqualified. There are appeals currently going through the appeal process for the issued demerits. So we do not have a certified election yet. So we do not have the results for the election. That is all going through the Judicial Council right now. So unfortunately, at this point, we can just be happy for the senators that are elected for next year. And I yield the rest of my time.
With the possibility, does anyone have any questions regarding the election since we have Vice President Eagle up here? Especially regarding the president's issue? Yeah,
for senators that I know we had a couple running for Hayward College of Business. For the one, I guess, who didn't make it, are there any at-large seats that they could potentially fill?
So there are several at-large seats, not for the Hayward College of Business. We still have seats available for the College of Arts and Science, the College of Education and Human Development, the College of Fine Arts, the College of Health and Human Services. Those college seats still stand available. We also have residence life seats. There's another seat available for University College. You could serve along with Senator Taylor. There are Greek life seats which will be up and available. I'm not sure what else I am missing.
I know of a few. Like there's at least 8 at-large seats that aren't attached to colleges outside of, because I believe 28 seats in total, 20 for Greek life and all the colleges. So there are 8 seats, which should be open, I believe, in the fall when we do our house confirmations. So whoever didn't make it can try and fill one of those seats. Vice President Effinger.
Thanks, Mr. Shapiro. For anyone who didn't run in the election but would like to be interested in one of these seats, how would they go about pursuing this option?
Yeah, so I think at this point, the best option that we have would be to hold a special election to fill those seats. So it would be conducted like we did at the beginning of this year. Folks went up for confirmation in front of the House. So we would have to conduct that. With the short amount of time we have remaining in this semester, it would either occur at the very end of this semester, which would leave very little time for promotion, or it would occur at the beginning of next year, which would allow room for those incoming freshmen to get involved. So that's just a discussion that would need to be had, but they could certainly reach out to me.
Definitely at the very same as what per the Constitution at the beginning of the fall semester, sign up would open for confirmation into the house in front of the House with for remaining seats. So if nothing happens this semester, if it doesn't come through or the special election doesn't garner the right amount of people, first week of the fall semester will be open sign up so people can get confirmed again. Same as, of course, this past year. I have a question. Oh, did I have a? When can we? Unless anyone else has questions, by the way. I hope we answered your question, Vice President Effinger.
Yes, thank you.
Cool. Not seeing too many other questions, or not really seeing any. I have a question. When can we expect presidential results? A week from now, or?
So I cannot actually answer that. There is still unresolved issues with the Judicial Council. So unfortunately, I cannot answer that.
What are all those issues, if you don't mind me asking again? I remember you said something about demerits.
So there's outstanding demerits, and there is currently appeals for those demerits going through the appeal process through the Judicial Council.
Okay. Any further questions?
Vice President Morris, looks like.
Oh, shoot. Thank you. I'm blind. Thank you, Senator Taylor. Vice President Morris, he's the acting chair for today.
He's on top of it. You just lost your job. I was just going to ask, once some of the appeals go through or don't go through, how can people be updated on them? I know that some of the demerits are listed on the website, but they're not posted on social.
Yeah, so once all of that does go through, they will be uploaded to our website and to our social media, and then they would be announced. Official results would be announced in a legislative meeting like this.
Thank you.
I have another question that came to mind, which is going to probably take me a minute to sort of muster up the words. So demerits are going through at this very moment. My assumption would be the only reason appeals would be made is because the winning side has these demerits. That said, if the appeals fail and the side with the most votes fails to then win, and we have a president and vice president who lost the popular vote, would we have an issue in instilling confidence in that? Like, how would we? Because I feel there would be an issue, as in we now have someone that represents less than half of the people who voted, assuming the right. Is what I'm saying coming through correctly? Because I'm just trying to like understand this process and like what we do in that instance. Because the only reason I can imagine a side would even bother to appeal after the vote counts have been found out would be that they won, but they had the demerits. And if they won and they have the demerits, and their appeals fail, and then they are disqualified, that means the winning slate had the fewer votes, and then they represent less than half of those who voted, which would be, I would assume kind of an issue we would have, because that's not full representation of the student body. So is there like, would we have an issue with that, or?
It would come down to the fact that the winning slate was disqualified. So with a disqualification, it's not so much a fact of how much representation, how much votes did this slate get.
Mm-hmm.
It's more a matter of this slate was disqualified, this slate was not disqualified.
Mm-hmm. Right, but more or less my thing is like, because like going off, and I could be wrong, I'm just assuming that the only reason appeals are even being submitted is because the slate with all the demerits is the one that won the vote. And so if they lost, if they failed, if their demerits came through and they didn't win because they were disqualified, should we be concerned about instilling proper confidence in the student body? Should we be concerned about like instilling confidence in the student body with an elected leader who doesn't have all the votes? I mean, we're entering into the realm of philosophical questions, I suppose.
If I can just quick ask a question, how many people did vote compared to how many students are at Western?
I have the vote totals. I can pull them up for you. 494 students voted for president and vice president.
I see Mr. Lawrence said something down. Thank you for that, by the way. Mr. Lawrence, I just want to say, like, I'm not arguing that those who broke the rules shouldn't pay the consequence. I'm not even arguing anything. I'm just asking what we do in the event that, like, how do we instill confidence if we have if our leader doesn't have, like, did not win the majority votes? And that's all I was asking. Certainly not getting into anyway, another hypothetical I could ask, because I love these hypotheticals. What if, like, say so what if one side decides to drop and just quit one slate that doesn't have the demerits, and the other ones with the demerits are disqualified?
The time to drop out of the election has long passed.
Oh, okay. Wait, so okay, interesting. Sorry. I'm certainly not trying to, like, I'm just curious B here, asking these questions. Curious B, Curious George, more like. So all right, thanks. I'm just asking questions. Sorry. Anyone else have any questions that they'd like to ask? Was that something? I thought I heard something like someone unmuted or okay. No. All right. Great. Moving on. Thank you so much, by the way. Oh, wait, who said something?
Senator Chetry.
Oh, did he have one?
Yeah, 416.
Hang on. For now, can we know who is leading by 30? Oh, yeah. Can we know that?
No.
Okay.
And
Cool.
Elisha also had a question at 417 about where to find the demerits. Those are under the election tab of the website.
Cool. All righty. Well, thank you.
Point of information, where is the election tab on the website? Because I don't see it anywhere.
Should be the navigation bar at the top, I think. Yeah.
So yeah, it will be at the navigation bar at the top, right next to the
Fourth tab.
Giving Day tab. And you can also find the demerits in the WSA archives because they are posted in there as well. So they'll be in those two spots.
Answer to Mr. Lawrence's question. Vice President Eagle already said who the senators were who won. Though I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but I'm sure if you ask her, she'll give you that information again. Let me look. Unless you're asking about the president and vice president, which like, I don't know, but you said representative, so I assumed you meant senators. That being said, any other questions? Am I missing some? Please someone point them out because apparently I'm blind. My vision, I guess, is going. I don't see any more. So we'll move on if everything's all right with you two, Vice President Eagle. Any other? Cool. Let's crowdfund. Please. I noticed it while I was driving the other day. Everything's getting blurrier. It's all this. Yeah. Cool. All right. Moving on. Let me open up the agenda again and get the screen going. Actually, I guess you don't need to see this. So next communication is reach out for donors for the Social Justice Fund, please, and Giving Day and stuff like that, because we need them. I sent you all in my email about the agenda a template for sending out those emails to friends, family, those who can pay, those with the big pockets, the large wallets. I request that everyone do at least 5. Can we do 5? That's not, I mean, it's not hard to spam, right? It's not hard to spam 5 people. Shoot, it's like, yeah, it's like whack-a-mole. You just find a list, you find your emails, like whack a email. There you go, donate. So please do that because I'm begging for us to do that because this is for, as to quote our president West, this is for the kiddos, for us, you know. This is for all of us lovely students here. I realize I pinned Ruby and didn't unpin her. So that said, we're gonna move on. So hopefully, please 5 each. You'll have my undying love. Not that that means much to many of you, but maybe it does. Maybe one of you is out there and you're like, oh, Dakota, I want your undying love. That said, okay. Next on the agenda is questions regarding tuition restructure. There was a question, if you all recall, we had Dr. Bott, Dr. Anderson, and Vice President Vanderklay in to talk about the restructuring of the tuition. And I'm going to read this quote here because they want feedback. Unless they're here to talk about it, I didn't know if that's what you meant, Chris, if they're going to come in and talk about it and ask these questions, but otherwise I'll ask it. So they want to know, the biggest question is for students that have differential tuition. Is the preference to combine and have one total tuition amount or have 2 lines? One would be the tuition rate all students pay and then a separate line for differential tuition. I'm gonna paste that. I don't know what we're asking here. Chris, are you there? Could you ask this question for me? I don't know if I'm reading it right.
So yeah, on the bill, there's two options. Option A, do you want to just have the total tuition in there? Option B, do you want to have the differential tuition broken out? And so how simplified would you prefer to have that? This is more of a straw poll. This is not an official vote or anything like that. They're just trying to get feedback from students to see, if they go too far in terms of like simplifying it, does that make things complicated, like frustrate students in that way. So does that make sense to folks, or we can field questions, but basically, does it matter to you to see the differential tuition amount broken out or not? What is differential tuition? So in that a higher level, like junior and senior level classes, in some of the colleges, not all of them, have like an added on, like it's a boosted fee. It's a little bit different than say you're in the chemistry and you have like the lab part too. They have the class part and the lab part. It's just an added different part, and that's typically on the junior. And again, this is a first grader definition of it, but that would be on the usually for juniors and seniors. So did that answer the question, Senator Ewing? And the chat is live, which is great. So I'll stop talking and turn it back to Dakota.
Yeah, Senator Busal-Chetri asked, what are the consequences of these two options? I assume like he means what's the difference?
I would say there really isn't. It's just a matter of the dollar amounts are the same. You're going to get charged the same amount. It's just more of a, is it a line item breakout on, like, say your receipt? Do you need to know how many cups you bought, or just that you bought some cups?
I like that. And I like that analogy. That works. All right. Let me see. Question.
Speaker Shapiro.
Yes, sir.
When we get all our questions answered, I have a poll that can be sent out just to kind of get an actual number instead of feeling it out, if you'd like to do that route.
Oh yeah, we'll do that. Some people have specific questions, but yeah, after those, great. That'd be great, actually. Senator Bipin Busal-Chetri, no, it won't change the tuition rate. The tuition rate won't go up or down. It's just a different viewing option. I don't see any other questions unless I'm mistaking some of these sentences for questions. How many cups so I can... That's funny. I don't see any more. So yeah, if we could do that poll, that'd be great. Thank you. Give it about 10 more seconds, I think.
Can cabinet vote too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaker Shapiro, you're muted.
Yeah, I realized that too late. I guess I'm getting rusty already. Anticipation for summer, perhaps, with all this. All right, so it looks like people favored differential line item to tuition to single line, 14 for differential, 7 to single line. So you got that, Chris, to report back. Cool. Awesome. So we can move on. Let me open up my share screen. All right, approval of the minutes. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you. Can I get a
Second.
second? Thank you. Can opposition perhaps?
Consent.
Consent. Thank you. Opposition? Not hearing any. Great. Approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Thank you. Consent? I'll
Consent.
Great. Thank you. No, any opposition? Not hearing any. Awesome. Right, then we'll move on to our guest speaker, Sagar Katka. If they're here, they may speak.
I do not see him in the participants nor the attendees section.
Then we will skip over. So much for guest speaker. I'm sure if they come in, we'll let them speak. But for now, we're gonna move on. Keep things
Point
rolling.
of order.
What's that? Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm actually one of the guest speakers today for Sudar. I'm actually
Oh.
the assistant program manager of it. I don't know if anyone the update, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Dakota. I forgot to send you an email.
Okay.
But yes, I'm actually the one giving the presentation today.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, great. Okay, cool. then that will be our Chief Justice here. All right. Then you have the floor.
So, hi guys. I know I never talk in meetings, so I'm actually kind of nervous to do this. But I am actually going to be speaking on behalf of the Office of Student Transitions today. So I'm an assistant program manager this year, so I'm helping coordinating all fall welcome, FYE, and orientation. And I'm going to talk to you guys today because we are actually looking for applicants today for becoming a fall welcome ambassador, an FYE co-facilitator, or a peer-to-peer e-mentor. I have a presentation if I'm allowed to share. I don't know, Eric, if I'm allowed to have sharing.
You are able to share.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, my computer's being slow, guys. Just give me one quick second. Okay. So like I said, I'm from the Office of Student Transitions today. So kind of what the Office of Student Transition is, it's dedicated to ensuring students are Western are as prepared as possible to start their career at the university. It's compromised into 4 programs: orientation, first year experience, and fall welcome and peer-to-peer. But we are currently accepting applications for first year experience co-facilitator, fall welcome ambassador, and peer-to-peer e-mentor positions. So the first one that we have is our first year experience. So FYE is a 2-credit course for first year students that it kind of helps them introduce themselves to college life here at WMU. And so with an FYE co-facilitator, you are going to help assist these first year students with choosing the college, going through everything, dealing with how to handle the responsibilities college, any classes they have, and also there'll be like presentations that come through entire class that you'll help assist with the professor that you're a part of. But as as a co-facilitator, you will be mostly responsible for working with your primary instructor, which will be a faculty member here at Western, to help facilitate the FYE course. So like I said, kind of for this job, it's the entire fall semester that you'll have to be committed. It is a paid position. So what you'll do is you'll turn in timesheets recording the hours worked each week. So some of the responsibilities that are going to be there is going to be serving as a leader and a positive role model for all these FYE students, because we want them to have the best possible experience of WMU, and like, you know, being able to see that their student leaders are being the best that they can. Attending each class as a co-facilitator for each session. And also what you will do is also serve as a fall welcome ambassador and attend all fall welcome events. So you'll be able to relive fall welcome if you went one time when you were a freshman, but if you didn't, this will be your chance to kind of experience it. So some of the qualifications that we kind of look for in a first year experience co-facilitator is the ability to work independently and in groups, demonstrate a desire to work with first year students, and to be cooperative, reliable, dependable, and responsible. I was a first year experience co-facilitator this last fall semester, and I absolutely loved it. It was so great. It was just awesome to work with some of those students. So another one that we have is just a fall welcome ambassador. So what fall welcome is a transitional program that's just designed to help students kind of connect with Western. And it's just always the first week before school starts. And it's really kind of fun. There's all different types of activities. If you went to fall welcome, you obviously kind of know what it's about. So what an ambassador will do, so what you will kind of, what your job will entail is to attend online training during the summer, training before fall welcome week, and the entirety of fall welcome, which is 5 days. This is a volunteer position. It's unpaid, but you will get a lots of WMU gifts and a bookstore gift card, which is great because we all know how expensive books are. So I loved it. So I highly encourage y'all to, like, you know, give it a shot. So some of your responsibilities is to facilitate a small group of first year students, encourage positive student interactions, foster development of WMU pride, attend ambassador training, like I said before, and then obviously participate in fall welcome. So some of the qualifications is the ability to work as a productive and engaging team member, must be available to participate in all training sessions and for the entirety of the week. However, if you are to get hired and you do have something obviously that maybe comes up, you know, we are obviously very flexible on that. You would just need to talk with us beforehand, and I'm sure we could work something out. You cannot be an RA or a Bronco buddy, unfortunately, just because there are responsibilities that you would have as an RA that would conflict with fall welcome. However, you know, still apply if you don't plan on being an RA. I recommend. And then our last program is peer-to-peer, which is an e-mentoring program for new students. As an e-mentor, you will get a list of first year and transfer students to communicate with. Students can select to receive either text or emails. You'll send them updates and text individually and communicate with students about 2 to 3 times per month. And as well as any newsletters you'll also send throughout the month. So what your job will detail for a peer-to-peer mentor is this is a full academic year time commitment, but it is a paid position. So that kind of, you know, the compensation is really nice, but it is a full-time commitment, which is why this one's a little bit more of a bigger responsibility, just because you are helping students transition into college smoothly, and you're also helping them with various services, including locating resources, and you're having to have open communication a lot with them via mail and text, which you'll use Salesforce for, which you'll get trained on how to use that. It's really easy. So some of the qualifications, obviously you have to be a WMU student and effective communication skills. Like I said, the communication part of that is a very big component. So to have those good communication skills is kind of important. I think that should, so how to apply. If you're interested in applying for any of these positions, the application is currently open and it is online. And the interview process is FYE co-facilitators and peer-to-peer mentors are individual interviews. The fall welcome ambassador is also an individual interview. We are getting the group interview. I don't know why they didn't change that yet, but we are actually getting rid of group interviews. It'll just be an individual interview. And obviously follow us on social media to stay up to date with reminders and more information. We are holding info sessions really lot throughout this week and next week. Just kind of giving more information. This is the same presentation you'll see that I'm giving today. But we are having those as well. So if you have any other questions that I don't answer, I'm pretty sure my assistant program managers could answer them too. But yeah, any other questions? So I saw in the chat, no, actually it has been offered in the past. So this is not a new course. It's new, I think, for a couple of years, but it's nothing new like this year. It has been offered in the past to students. So some examples would be so when you get the list of students, you'll be communicating them mostly via like email or text. Kind of just reminding them about some like, any sort of like, fairs or any opportunities on campus that they might be interested in, any RSOs that they might be interested in going to. You'll also have like some meetings with them kind of one-on-one throughout the year, just kind of sitting down with them and kind of seeing if they need any help with anything. If you can offer any advice with studying or anything. So that's kind of some of the responsibilities. Unfortunately, I've never worked with peer-to-peer mentor. My other person that was supposed to be here today couldn't be here, and he works with peer-to-peer mentor, so he would have been answering that questions a lot better. So I apologize for having like all the information, but that's what I basically know. FIE is completely optional. We do encourage students to join it, but it's completely optional for students. But a lot of students end up doing it just because if they've never been outside of maybe Michigan, or if they're out of state, or even if they're from like a really small community, they tend to join it, and they end up really liking it, and it really helps them kind of adapt to a new situation. The GPA requirement, you have to just have a 2.5 GPA. That's the minimum requirement for it. I see in the chat, yes. FYE is so helpful. I took it. I loved it. That's what inspired me to become a first year experience coordinator this year. So any other questions? That was a lot of information I kind of threw at you guys. Oh, yeah. So my experience as a fall welcome ambassador, so this was actually the first year that we had to do it all online. So it was a lot different than past years, but I really enjoyed having my students. I was able to like show them around campus, take them around, like obviously tour campus. I got to do a lot of the cool activities like play fair, all that we share, the how-to sessions. But really it was more of like a leadership experience for me. I was in charge of a small group. I had to make sure that they knew where everything was, what to do. So it's really good in developing leadership skills. You're able to like, you're able to connect, and you're able to be like that resource for those first year students. Some of these people have maybe never been on a college campus. Some of them may have not even gone to Western on a campus tour. So they're completely coming here new. And so they're able to, see campus, and you're kind of one of the first people that they see. And they ask you a lot of questions. And so when you do, you're able to give your own experience and tell your own stories. And, I still talk to even some of my students today and from my fall welcome group and my FYE group. And that's just kind of one of the coolest things about that whole experience.
Are there any other questions that might have gotten missed? If there are, please speak up and ask them. Okay, hearing and seeing none. Thank you for that presentation. Really great. If you have anything else to say, you still have the floor.
Nope, I yield my time. Thanks, guys, for listening.
Cool. Thank you so much. With that, we will move into committee breakouts. So, yeah, we're moving into committee breakouts. You will get the link here momentarily for that.
Dakota, I can share that presentation with you. I saw someone had asked to see if I could share that presentation, so I'll send it to you.
Okay.
If you want to send it to any of the senators to send out to people.
Yeah, I'll
We have
definitely.
interviews going all month, so.
Yeah, sure. I'll send it out to. I'll just send it to the whole Senate so everyone has it.
Could you send it to me too, so I can include it in the minutes for the House?
Yes, I think he asked to present at both. I'm not quite sure. He did.
Yeah, we've got him on the agenda.
Okay, yeah, he last minute texted me and said, I won't be there. Can you do it by yourself? And I was
You're
like,
awesome, by the way. I know you said you were nervous, but enticed me to do it for sure.
I don't talk very much during these meetings. So I told him I'm only willing to do fall welcome and beer. So yeah.
I literally always forget to type the person's name that I'm trying to message, and it always just ends up going to everyone.
Hey guys, House leadership. Speaking of the agenda, can I have the revised bylaws added to the House agenda for this week so that we can pass them at the Senate for next week?
Did you send that to me? Because I completely forgot. I'm so sorry.
I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It just I